Cool.
Yes, we're good here.
Okay, great.
Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. It's Coach Monken for you. We'll go ahead and begin with this. Open up for questions afterwards. If you could please use the raise your hand function. We'll be sure to get you in.
Good afternoon, everybody. I think everybody that's on the call here was on Saturday night after the game, and we're still very disappointed that we lost the game, and you know it's our own doing, as I said on on Saturday night. They did a great job. They kicked our butts, but we didn't help ourselves in a lot of places, and that usually happens. That's usually how it works. The 4 games that we managed to win this year, I'm sure the coaches on the other side and the players on the other side tell you they didn't help themselves, that they could have done things to give themselves a better chance in the game. And unfortunately, in those games, we did enough, and we didn't on Saturday night. From the very first play of the game, the kickoff, and just a poor job, and then not being able to execute on 4th down. We had the first drive on offense. We're going to convert the 4th down. We didn't get the play communicated quickly enough from the huddle to the line. The trade, we had guys moving, and clock got to 0. I called timeout. We ran a play after the timeout and got stopped short, and frankly didn't do a very good job on that play. And it just seemed like the whole day went like that. They scored the very next play, so they run exactly 2 plays. They're 14-0. And of course, the next drive, we didn't do anything with it. They drove down and scored, went up 21-0. There's still 50 minutes to go in the game. And we battled back in the first half and got it to 21-14. I thought our defense played really well from that point forward. And then in the second half, we had opportunities. We overthrew an open tight end running down the middle of the field. We had a guy wide open, which would have tied up the game 21-21. And unfortunately, we threw it to the wrong guy, and they intercepted it and then scored a couple plays later. So just a really tough day and very disappointing. And just I think our whole team has responded well. They're mad and disappointed, and hopefully we'll take it as a lesson and prepare and get better. We're certainly going to need to play better. This is certainly the most talented and biggest athletic team that we've faced so far this year, and to beat Wisconsin is going to take an absolutely tremendous effort. So hopefully we'll have a good week of practice this week leading into game week next week.
Coach, our first question is via Rich DeMarco. What are the most important things to work on this week?
Oh gosh, I don't know where to start on the most important things. Being able to play well in the kicking game. We can't give up long plays like that when we're covering kicks, whether it's a kickoff or a punt. Those are far too important plays. There's an opportunity to gain a lot of field position there, and to give up 7 points is just unacceptable. So we've got to get better at that. We've got to get better at sustaining blocks, moving people off the line of scrimmage. We didn't do that very well on Saturday night. We're going to play a team that's even bigger and better the next time out. So we've got to do a better job running the football consistently. And we haven't done that the last couple of games really, really well. We had some long runs against Miami of Ohio, but that was a very physical game, and they did a pretty good job of defending us, and certainly Ball State did. So we're going to have to do a better job of that. And then tackling, we missed some tackles on Saturday night, and we're going to do a better job with that. Not giving up a big play. The big plays against us, negative yardage plays that we take on offense, those are really hard to overcome. So really trying to eliminate those 2 things, giving up a negative yardage play on offense and giving up a big play on defense.
With one more via Rich DeMarco. What is the biggest positive takeaways from the Ball State game?
I think we got to get rested up. I felt like we looked fatigued and a little worn down physically, and I think that's just kind of where we're at in the season. So hopefully this bye week will help us get some needed rest and get healthy. Obviously, just look at us out there. We're depleted a little bit at some positions and don't look exactly the same as we did in week one. And as a result, I just don't think we looked as fresh and as ready to go physically as we had. That didn't mean we needed to lose the game. It's not uncommon for a lot of teams to feel that way at this time of the year. So hopefully that's something we can regain this week is just a little bit more of that energy and good health.
Ken Kreitzer, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Coach. Just thinking back on the Ball State game, the size of the defensive line that Ball State presented in that game certainly seemed to be a factor in the third quarter. We talked a little bit Saturday night about the adjustments Ball State made, but how much is just having those big 295-pound defensive linemen as a factor?
We got some big guys too. I mean, our guys are thick and heavy, and we've got to just be able to go man for man and knock them out of there. They did a good job. They played with really, really good pad level, and were very stout. They covered all those interior linemen in there, and so where we're accustomed to getting some push and getting the B back going, we just weren't getting that on Saturday night, and we're best if we can get that guy going. It had to go to a little bit of a wider gap game. We got the quarterback in there on some midlines, and we got the fullback out there on some belly plays, and we had a couple of pitch plays. They were so committed to putting guys in the box that it became more of a perimeter game, and we didn't do a very good job on the perimeter. We missed some blocks. We blocked the wrong guy, which is unforgivable. It's our job as coaches to make sure our guys block the right guys. But there's a couple times where we had an opportunity for some big pitch plays, and we didn't get it out there. And I think Tyler got a little gun shy. That one got knocked down, and in the next couple he had a chance to pitch it and he didn't. And I think he's trying to make a play, and he's trying not to have a big negative yardage play again like we did. And we talked about it. He's got to put it behind him and just make the play that's there. And we didn't do that enough. So our linemen, like I said, they're big and they play hard and they play physical, and we had a team that was matching us and did a pretty good job, and we weren't getting the movement that we needed. And if we're going to have a successful offense the way we run it, we're going to have to do a better job of that.
And obviously you had the two good drives in the second quarter, and Zaire got hurt, Jamel Jones went in. Was there any thought of using Jabari Laws in the game in the later stages?
Yes, there was. There was some discussion of that, and that's if I wanted to do that, I could have done it, and I chose not to. We talked about it and felt like Jamel had the most work, and we left him in there, and he got some chances to make some plays and made a couple. Unfortunately, missed some, and that's hard, because when you lose a game, you go back and second guess everything. And Jabari's certainly an accomplished quarterback. I think he's a very talented kid, and we'll give him an opportunity to battle, to be in position to play. And we intend to do that this week.
Thanks, Coach.
Ken McMillan.
You just mentioned you stuck with Jamel. What did you think of Jamel's effort aside from missing that one target?
I thought he tried really hard. I thought he tried to play hard and do the best he can. That's all we can ask of anybody. I think our guys played hard. There was nobody that quit, nobody that stopped believing that we were going to win the game. They kept fighting to find a way to try to win the game, and Jamel was included. He did that too.
He did move the ball, especially in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, we did. There's 11 guys out there, and we moved it down there, got it down to first and goal, and unfortunately couldn't get it into the end zone. It would have been nice to punch that one in and see if we could get an onside kick and put another one together.
I'm not sure if you had mentioned it on Saturday because I missed the first couple minutes of your presser.
Well,
but
it was only a couple minutes long, so you didn't miss much.
All right, then I probably caught it all. When you pulled Tyre, can I ask, was he injured? Was he battered? Or did you want to just change things up when you pulled him?
Well, if you saw the game, I'm not sure if he did or not, but
I did.
He got rocked several times. He was taking a pounding, and you do in our offense. You're going to take some hits, get tackled, and take some shots, and he'd had his chance to try to hit some open receivers, and just felt like we needed to give Jamel a chance to see if he could hit the open receivers, and as it turns out, we weren't as effective as we hoped there either. So I know why Ken's asking about Jabari Laws. I think he throws it really well, and we discussed putting him in the game, like I said, but it's just a decision we made at the time. And when you lose, you go back and second guess everything. But he moved the ball and he tried hard, and like I said, he had some chances, and unfortunately we didn't hit them all.
So Tyre wasn't necessarily hurt. He was banged up for sure, but you just wanted to sort of change things up.
I don't know about change things up. We just wanted to see if the other guy could come in and make a play throwing the football. We knew we were going to have to throw it, and Tyre had some chances earlier in the game, and didn't do a great job with that part of it, and so we thought we'd give another guy a try.
Okay, and just one more on Tyre. Is he okay? I mean,
yeah, he's like all of us. Our ego's a little bruised and ticked off and disappointed, but other than that, he's fine.
Sure, thank you.
Sal, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, on that drive inside the 5 in the fourth quarter, was it just a 2-minute drill, or was Jacoby Buchanan banged up, or was it just personnel that he was in the game in that kind of situation?
It's just the personnel that we felt like we needed in that situation in the game.
Gotcha. How important is this week as far as recruiting? I think you have your coaches out there recruiting. How important is a bye week with recruiting?
Oh, I don't know that it's critical, but it's nice to get guys out on the road and be seen. We haven't been in a high school since January of 2019. So this will be the first time today. It's the first time our coaches have been in a high school in quite a long time, almost 20 months or something like that. So, we're anxious to get out and see some coaches of some of our key players. We can't talk to the guys or anything today, any prospects, but we can do evaluations, talk to coaches, watch practice, and it's just nice to be seen. So I think when we can get out, we should. The bye weeks are a good time to do that. I typically don't like to take our coaches away from our team during the season. We're not practicing today. We're not meeting today. It's a day off for our players. So this was a good time to do it. But other than that, I really like for our coaches to be here so they can support our players if it's during the season. And a lot of coaches will go out and recruit on Fridays, the day before a game. And we've done that in the past, but I just found that I think our players are a lot more comfortable when their position coaches are there and our whole staff is there to be able to get them prepared for the game and getting out and seeing a high school game and being seen. I think it helps and it makes a difference, but I don't know if it makes as big a difference as our team being prepared for Saturday afternoon.
Gotcha. And is there a timetable for Connor Bishop or Christian Anderson? Do you hope to get them back after the bye week?
I hope that we could get them both back after the bye week. I don't know if if they're both trending that way. Obviously, Connor's a little ahead of Christian because his injury happened earlier in the season, so he's got a couple weeks of rehabilitation ahead of him. But he looks good. He's walking around and moving around, and we've had him in the training room, and they've been doing some things with more and more body weight for him to get him healthy. So I'm optimistic we're going to get him back fairly quickly. I think he's made a pretty good turn. Christian, we'll just have to see. It would be nice to get him back for the game against Wisconsin, but his body's got to cooperate, and we'll see if it does.
Ken McMillan?
Jeff, you mentioned about how the team is angry over what happened and such, but how do you address this with the team this week? I mean, how much do you want them to feel the burn from Saturday, but also put it behind them and move forward? That's something you always say.
Well, it doesn't matter what happens in the game, whether we won the game or not on Saturday. There's some lessons in that game that we have to learn from. Even if we had found a way to come back and win the game, there were going to be a lot of things that we were going to have to correct. And I'd much rather be making those adjustments and those error corrections after winning a game. I think you can learn as much from winning a game and making mistakes as you do losing a game. I hear people say, sometimes the best thing is losing a game because you learn a lot of lessons. I think that's a bunch of BS. I learned the same things winning the game, and we can evaluate and assess what needs to be done. I'm not one for putting things behind me very well. I've told you guys before, I still lose sleep over games we lost 3 years ago and 13 years ago and 23 years ago. So 3 days ago, I'm still pissed, and I'm going to remain pissed. But that's just who I am, and hopefully our guys will feel a little bit of that sting, and I think it's okay to have that. That's competitiveness. A guy that just walks out of the locker room and everything's fine, and oh well, that's the way it goes. Put it behind us. I don't know if that's a guy that's very competitive. You show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser. So it's okay to be competitive, and I think our guys will focus on the next game. They're not going to dwell on the past game, but there's things to be learned from, and I know they're going to be excited to have an opportunity to play again.
You've often said that 10 guys could execute on a play, but if one guy misses an assignment, it can blow the whole thing up. I'm getting a sense that there was a lot of that across the board, and it wasn't just one guy per play. There were a lot of mistakes that were across the board. Is that fair to say?
I mean, it just happens. It happens that way. And, the kickoff return for a touchdown, there were plenty of guys out of position. We kicked the ball where we should kick it, but we did a poor job covering the kick. And that's as much my fault as anybody's. That kid was a good kick returner, and we wanted to give our guys a chance to go down there and cover it against somebody else and see how that changed their kickoff return. And he got his hands on it, and we should have guys in position. We didn't. So it was more than one guy, but the first touchdown over our head, maybe we should have sacked the quarterback, but we didn't get to the quarterback, and we got beat over the top. Didn't need to be in the coverage we were in. I don't know if it was one guy. It just mistakes happen, and it's my job to prepare our team, to have them ready to go, to have assistant coaches that prepare our guys. I can't coach all 22 of them, 25 of them if you include all the specialists. We got really good coaches that do that. We got to put them in position, and they got to make plays. And sometimes they're going to make mistakes. They're human beings, and I assure you, Ball State didn't play a perfect game either. They made some mistakes, just not as many as us. And so we'll fix it. And we won 4 games before we played Saturday. We made a ton of mistakes in every one of those games. Like I said, we learned lessons as we went along the way, and made some corrections as we went through the film of each of those games on the Sunday following the game, and tried to work on those things during the week, just as we're going to do with this game from Saturday, and learn from the film and work on our mistakes this week, and hopefully we won't make the same ones against Wisconsin.
Thanks, Jeff.
We'll go and close out with Ken Kreitzer.
Coach, just maybe turning the page a little bit, thinking about Wisconsin. They lost to Michigan this past week. They go out and play Illinois this week. Coach Paul Chryst, there since 2015, won a lot of games. Former head coach of Pittsburgh. What do you see in the Wisconsin team so far? And do you have any past history with Coach Chryst?
Just as far as the history, no. Talked to him on the phone before, and he's a great guy. He's a terrific coach. One of my old coaching friends that I GA'd with at Arizona State was a college teammate of his at Wisconsin, and just thinks the world of Paul. And I think he's an outstanding coach. He's done a great job at Wisconsin. They've lost to 3 ranked teams, 3 very good football teams. They're a very good football team themselves, ranked in the preseason, and they're going to have a big, physical, talented football team, and it's going to take the very best effort we've had all year if we're going to have a chance to even be in the game. So, well coached and an outstanding football team with a lot of history and tradition. So, I'm glad we've got a couple weeks to get ready, and as I said, I'm glad we got this week to get rested up and get healthy.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, that's going to close us out today. Thank you, Coach, and thank you, everyone, for joining us.